Hey everyone, this is a video response to Stschmalhaus's My 2-year anniversary giveaway video. So first of all, happy 2nd anniversary, Stefan. This is going to serve as my entry to your giveaway / contest. Now, Stefan posted 3 challenges, and among those 3 I chose challenge number 3, which is make an educational video on the Mersennne prime numbers, explain what they are and why mathematicians are fascinated by them. Explain the proof of at least one basic theorem about Mersennne primes. Now, the Mersennne prime numbers were named after a Mersennne, a French monk and mathematician, and I believe he was also a musician. The Mersennne prime numbers was his great contribution to the world of mathematics. Okay, now the Mersennne prime number is, first of all, a prime number. Now, prime numbers, first of all, are numbers which are positive integers greater than 1, whose divisors can only be 1 and the number itself. Examples of prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, and 7. Okay. Now, a Mersennne prime number is a special type of prime number. It's a prime number which is 1 less than the power of 2. What are the powers of 2? Well, they're 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and 128. Okay, these are powers of 2. Mainly, basically, it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay. All right, and none of these are Mersennne primes. None of them are even prime numbers. Well, actually 2 is a prime number, but basically none of them are the Mersennne primes. But okay, Mersennne prime is a prime number which is 1 less a power of 2. So it's 1 less each of these powers of 2. Let's take the first one, 2. 1 less the power of 2, or 2 minus 1 is 1, but 1 is actually not considered a prime number. Okay, let's move on. Let's see. The next power of 2 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, so 3 is a prime number, and that's our first Mersennne prime. 8 minus 1 is 7. Again, it's a prime number, so that's our second Mersennne prime. 16 minus 1 is 15. 15 is not a prime number, so it can never be a Mersennne prime. 32 minus 1 is 31. That's our third Mersennne prime. 64 minus 1 is 63. That is not a prime number, so again, scratch that. 128 minus 1 is 127. That's our fourth Mersennne prime. Okay. To date, there are only 47 Mersennne prime numbers. Now, there is a formula that we can work with for the Mersennne primes. Let's say a Mersennne prime is m. It should be equal to 2 raised to the power of a certain prime number, which we'll designate as the letter p, minus 1. Okay. The basic theorem is that if this is a prime number, then p should be a prime number. Let's test that theorem. Let's use the first prime number to work with number 2. We'll designate our Mersennne prime as m sub 2, meaning we're going to derive a Mersennne prime based on the prime number number 2. Okay, so m sub 2, 2 raised to the power of p, or 2 raised to the power of 2, minus 1. This is 4 minus 1, and it is 3. So there you go. the value of this is 3. 3 is a prime number. Okay, and we use 2 as the prime number. So that proves that theorem. And we just derived our first Mersenne prime. Let's do that again. Let's use the number 3. Okay, m sub 3 equals 2 raised to the power of 3 minus 1. Okay, so theorem states if this is a prime number, then just like the number 3, it's prime. Okay, we already know 3 is a prime number. So 2 raised to the power of 3 is 8 minus 1 is equal to 7. There, see? We did it again. 7 is a prime number. Okay, just like the number 3. And again, we came up with our second Mersenne prime. See? So we've proven that theorem twice. Now, one might say, if we have a formula to work with to derive a Mersenne prime, then why not just use this formula to come up with all the Mersenne primes? For sure we'll be able to come up with more than 47 of them. Well, this formula has a certain hiccup. Let's take, for example, the prime number 11. So we try to derive Mersenne prime sub 11. See if it works. Okay, so it should be 2 raised to the power of 11 minus 1. This will be equal to 2047. This is not a prime number, so this is not a Mersenne prime. Okay. This can be factored out to 23 times 89. Okay, so this is divisible by 23. It's also divisible by 89. So that proves that it's not a prime number, and it cannot be a Mersenne prime if it's not a prime number. Okay, that's how hard it is to come up with Mersenne primes, and that is why mathematicians are working so hard to come up with the next Mersenne prime, because it boggles their minds as to what is the next Mersenne prime. You know, the greatest Mersenne prime numbers is actually equal to 2 raised to the let's see if I can get this right, 43,112,609 minus 1. Okay, compute that and you get the largest Mersenne prime number. No one knows whether there is an infinite number of Mersenne primes. Okay, but another thing that's interesting about this is its relation to the perfect numbers. What are perfect numbers? Okay, now I'll just name 3 perfect numbers for you guys. Let's see, 6, 28, and 496. I believe those are the first 3 perfect numbers. A perfect number is defined as a number whose factors, excluding the number itself, when you add them up, it should be equal to the number itself. Alright, let's put it this way. 6, okay? The factors of 6 are, let's see, 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So, when you add them up, they're equal to 6. Now let's use 28, okay? Factors of 28, let's see if we can get this right. 28, we have 1, we have 2, 7, what else? I think 7, 14, am I missing something else? I think 4 is also a factor. Yeah, 4. Okay. So let's try to add them up. 1 plus 2 plus 7, that's 10 already. So that's 24, 28, see? So those are perfect numbers. Okay, how are Mersenne prime numbers related to perfect numbers? Well, simple. Okay, a perfect number we'll designate as Pn. Okay, should be equal to a Mersenne prime times a Mersenne prime plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, let's use the first Mersenne prime, 3. Okay, so 3 times 3 plus 1 divided by 2. So this is going to be 3 times 4, 12 over 2, which is equal to 6. There, see? From the first Mersenne prime number, we were able to come up with the first perfect number. Okay, let's work on the second one from the second prime number, which is number 7. So 7 times 7 plus 1 divided by 2. This is 56 divided by 2, so it's 28. There it is, a second perfect number. Okay, and same thing with the perfect numbers. We don't know if there's an infinite number of perfect numbers, just like we don't know if there's an infinite number of Mersenne prime numbers. Okay, so there's this thing on the internet called the great what was it called? The Internet Mersenne Prime Search. The Great Internet Mersenne Prime Search. It's a collaboration of different mathematicians and math enthusiasts to come up with the next prime number. And it's one step closer to finding out that mystery, the answer to that question, which has eluded our mathematicians. And that what makes the Mersenne prime numbers so interesting to our mathematicians, because they're full of mystery. It's not completely solved yet. As for practical reasons, I can think that it could be used for a system of encryption, something like that. Of course, we'll have to master the art first. So that's about as far as my brain can take as far as analytical thinking is concerned. I think I'm gonna lie down now and maybe fall asleep for a week. Maybe then I'll be fully rested. So until then, alright, take it easy.